Okay, grand rising to my beautiful melanated people. Um, I decided to do this video on YouTube instead of going live and just have a live discussion about it because it just would be better for me. And I just think it make more sense to me. Um, so in order to get this um, video up and going in the realms of in a form in which everybody can understand, the first thing I want to start off saying is when you know what you are, who you are, can never be called into question again, okay? Now, with that being said, um, I want to start this video off by saying that carbon is the fundamental building blocks of all life on this planet, okay? It's the fundamental building blocks of all life on this planet. You can't begin to build and form life without carbon, okay? So that needs to be made clear. Now, the first thing I noticed is what got me on this is I was doing research on carbon dioxide. And carbon, so I would need to break it down. I hate to be a professor to everybody because that's so not me. But I'm gonna just get it started. I wrote it down so I can present it better. Um, I started out with the atom. In all ancient cultures, they talk about the atom or the atom. Well, an atom consists of positively charged protons, neutrons, which have no charge, and electrons. Okay? Um, for example, hydrogen has one electron. Carbon consists of 6 electrons. It consists of 6 electrons, 6 neutrons, and 6 protons. But what makes what makes the carbon atom carbon is because of the number of protons it has. It has 6. Anything consisting of 6 protons is carbon. Okay? Now, um, basically, carbon is produced by the element of hydrogen. They say hydrogen is the most abundant element. Oh no, guys, I want to make sure I get this right. Okay, so hydrogen is the most abundant element of all the elements, and it accumulates into clumps by way of gravity, which then become stars. Okay? Due to inward powerful pressure and nuclear fusion, this triggers, due to inward powerful pressure, it triggers nuclear fusion. And we all know what nuclear fusion is: a nuclear power, heat, flame, or whatever. Um, in this process, the the protons and the neutrons mash together to form elements. Okay, so we need to understand what's going on here. The hydrogen is under pressure, and because the hydrogen is under pressure, it produces our stars. Okay, and those stars, due to inward pressure, not outward pressure, this is something that happens within, due to inward pressure from those stars, I guess they're contracting within themselves, these stars produce elements such as carbon and iron. Okay, now why is this important to know for black people? Because you are 6 electrons, 6 neutrons, and 6 protons. Everybody knows that carbon under pressure in heat, it transforms, okay? So what I'm saying when I say that is, um, trying to make sure I get it right and get it clear. I'm a better freestyler. I'm not good with reading off of papers and stuff, but I'll do the best that I can. So, due to the inward transformation of those stars, the inward pressure, them contracting and subtracting, contracting on one another, they form the elements of carbon and iron. Now, why is this important for us? Because you are carbon. You are 6 electrons, 6 neutrons, and 6 protons. But those 6 protons determine you as carbon, okay? You are carbon. And in saying that, the other element, iron, our blood consists of iron, which is called hemoglobin, okay? We all bleed red blood, but that blood consists of different things, okay? So, in saying that, I need to get that clear. You're being formed as carbon. Carbon 12, if you go and read it and look it up, carbon 12 is produced in stars. The element is determined by the number of protons it has, but the number is determined by the number of protons and electrons that it has. You are 6 electrons, 6 neutrons, and 6 protons, which means you are carbon fucking 12. Carbon 12 is produced in stars. Okay? So they called us star seeds back in the day, in ancient times, because that's exactly what you are. Long before you touched down in the womb of your mother, long before you manifested as a sperm cell in your father, you were created in the stars of heaven. As above, so below. What is inside is also outside. It needs to be made clear, okay? So, without further ado, let me get back into what I was saying. So, once these elements form together, they form a form of carbon called carbon 12, right? And it also produces larger elements that are produced in supernovas, and they are also produced here on Earth in accelerators, such as the accelerator at CERN. You know, the one that Bill Gates is funding, and he's into the CERN project. This is what they are doing, okay? This is what they're doing at CERN. Keep in mind, and I'm going to explain it later on, at CERN, they gifted them with a statue of the goddess Shiva, okay? So anyways, her arms and all of those things and the way that she's situated in that circle, sun-looking circle, they mean something. But I'm going to get to that a little later on, okay? And you notice the statue, most statues of her are soot black. I'm going to get into that. So anyways, so CERN and the global elite are taking this accelerator and mashing these chemicals, these elements artificially together because they're trying to, master the God particle. They're trying to play God, okay? But if you notice, the motherfucker that was in the wheelchair at CERN, he don't even believe in God. And he came out after what he saw at CERN, whatever's going on in there, and he said that humans need to begin to start figuring out a way to inhabit other planets because they know that some people here got a fucking expiration date, okay? Some of us had a chance to get it right as a species, and they did not. So your ass is about to be no more. You had the opportunity to get it right. Anyways, so what makes carbon so special is the fact that carbon consists of 6 electrons. 2 electrons are in the inner shell. There are 4 on the outer shell, okay? These 4 on the outer shell, they allow carbon to be bonded with other elements and take on many different shapes and forms. Okay? I'm going to make sure I get it right. The carbon, the electrons that are used to bond on the outer shells of carbon are called valence electrons. We're going to get on that word valence in a minute, okay? In a minute. So, what is happening with carbon due to the 4 electrons is ideally these forms of carbon on the periodic table, they ideally want 8 electrons. But they only use the 4. But ideally, there should be 8. Okay? I'm going to get into that in Norse mythology in a minute. Okay? Your ancestors left a great deal of information behind so that you would make the connection. And although they are physically no longer in human form, that don't mean that they're not still surrounding you. Okay? So with that being said, carbon makes out of these 4 electrons single bonds or triple bonds, which bonds to many different elements, right? 2 or 3 atoms bonded to the carbon atom produces 3, it produces double and 3-dimensional shapes, right? When it's bonded to 4, it creates 3-dimensional shapes, okay? If it's bonded to 2 or 3, it tends to make more flat shapes, shapes kind of like that and this or that or whatever. Not this. This is 4. 4 bonds. This is what carbon makes. The shape of a pyramid. Okay? The shape of a pyramid. All right. So, interesting. Our ancestors built the pyramids out of limestone. But limestone is produced due to the carbon dioxide that exists in volcanoes. This is where limestone comes from. So when they built these pyramids, they built it with limestone with a diamond at the top for a fucking reason. Okay? All right. So carbon takes on many forms such as graphite, which is strong enough to hold form, but soft and elegant enough to take on any form or shape once you write it on paper. Basically, graphite is a form of carbon that we use to make pencils. That lead, whatever, the black stuff in our pencil that's strong enough to hold this shape here, that pointed yod finger-like shape. But when you take that pencil and that graphite and you write it on paper, it's strong enough to hold, but it's soft enough to write on paper and take on whatever form you choose to shape it in. I said it like that for a reason, okay? I said it just like that for a reason. And those who are awakened that follow me, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The sacred feminine. Okay. So, moving on. Then you have the form of carbon, which is the diamond. The diamond, which is the hardest known substance on the periodic table. It's shiny. It is beautiful. But that diamond is the hardest thing on the periodic table. It's not steel. It's not iron. It's not metal. It's a diamond. Diamond's a little girl's best friend, right? All right. Moving along. When you take carbon by itself, it takes on many forms. But listen to this. When carbon is combined, I want you to keep what I'm about to say in line, because I'm going to break down the shapes and the alchemical symbols in the name for God, this Yahweh, and that these symbols actually are governed by elements, okay? So I'm saying that before I say what I'm about to say, because it's going to be in a future video that I have coming up where y'all can make the connection, okay? Okay, so when you combine carbon with hydrogen, oxygen, and nitrogen, and other elements, it makes all the diverse structures within the human body. Let me say that again. When you combine carbon with nitrogen, hydrogen, and oxygen, it creates all of the structures within the human body. Okay? These structures include carbohydrates, proteins, and DNA. But I told y'all that carbon-12 was produced in stars. Okay? There's a reason why they called you star seeds. There's a reason why the blacks of Asia worshiped the Asiatic black man and woman and called them the children of Sambo. They say when nothing else was, Sambo was. Meaning when there was nothing else in existence, Sambo existed. Okay? Okay? There's a very powerful reason why you will worship as the children and the offspring of God, because you are. And if you are the child of God, then what does that make you? Okay? What does that make you? All right? I'm telling you in full detail what you are, so that when somebody comes to you and try to tell you what you are, I'm telling you what you are internally. You know, the priestess says what is inside is also out. The magician, the father says as above, so below. Okay? I'm telling you what you are internally. So when somebody try to come to you and tell you, oh, you're more, fuck that. Oh, you're a Muslim, fuck that. Oh, you're African, fuck that shit too. I'm none of these things. Bitch, I'm a star seed. Before any of these labels came upon me, I was birthed as carbon-12 in the motherfucking stars. I'm a star child. I'm a child of God, and I don't claim any other label but that. I don't give a fuck what you have as a definition to describe it. I don't give a shit. I am a star child. I don't worship and bow down to any of these religious dogma fuck shit. I'm a star child. I'm a child of God. I define myself. I will label myself as who the fuck I am. I am a product of that I am. Matter of fact, I'm a child of that I am, which means I am that I am. And I say whatever the fuck I am. You don't tell me what I am. Okay? I tell you, I am the creator. I run this motherfucker. Due to the fact that I'm carbon-12 and my peoples is carbon-12, that mean in case you need a reality check, we run this motherfucker. Can I get it? Amen. Up in here. Okay. I didn't mean to go philosophical on y'all, but I had to break that shit down. So anyways, this carbon is creating the DNA helix. The structuring of the DNA helix, the structuring of our DNA is based upon carbon. Carbon. Okay? You're not, I hate to say melanin, but I use that in my videos because that's what we relate to. But melanin is what? Dr. Sebi said it best. You know, if you're going to rep Dr. Sebi, rep all of him. You understand what I'm saying? Dr. Sebi said melanin is what they say when they don't want to say carbon. You're a carbon-based life. That means you are organic and original. All right? These are some of the things that flipped my mind as I was reading. Okay? Not only does it form DNA, when putting carbon in the empty spaces of the iron lattice, meaning flat surface lattice, you get a stronger form of steel. But the samurais of Japan said that they put within their steel swords a fragment of their very soul, and their sword was their own. But what they put into their swords, these steel samurai blades, was carbon. Okay? Anything bearing a pale face cannot rep that. The first samurais of Japan were black men. Black men. And these men said that they put the very soul and the core of who they are, and they steel swords, and it made them stronger. They said they had swords unlike any swords, but they put carbon in them, and it made them stronger blades. Okay? If you don't know who the Black Samurais of Japan is, I'm going to make a video on that real soon, because it was a lot of, not to branch off from subject, but it was a lot of fuckery going on in Hollywood where they were making a movie about the Black Samurai, talking about he came there as a slave. Y'all need to understand how we're globally being mind-fucked, controlled, and usurped of our motherfucking history. Okay? Those samurais of Japan were black men. And they say a samurai ain't even a samurai unless he got one drop of black blood in him. He can't even be considered a samurai. Do you know how powerful that is? Do you know how powerful you are for somebody to even say that about you? Okay? Checkmate. Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. I'm not bowing down to none of this shit. I refuse to. Alright? Collectively, the Chinese people and the Americans saw fit to rewrite us out of the Chinese culture and the Asiatic culture and perpetrate this lie saying that the Black Samurai Yasuki, or whatever his name was, Yasuki or Yawasuki, came over there by way of being a fucking slave. He was a slave that came over there and learned the ways of the samurai. Bitch, shut the fuck up lying. That is not your culture. That is not your shit. And you need to stop riding our ancestors' dick and then trying to usurp their descendants at the same fucking time. Fuck up out of here with that bullshit. The samurais of Japan were black men, and they were very powerful. Very powerful people. Okay? You got a whole fucking country that made it their duty to rewrite you the fuck out of your own history. Meanwhile, in China today, there are pyramids over there burying men and women with black faces. What the fuck is going on? Enough is the fuck enough. I've had enough of the fuckery. Okay? Know what you are. So who you are ain't a damn question. So anyways, not only do they put it in steel to make it stronger, but our non-stick cookware, Teflon, when it's combined with carbon, listen to this, people. We're not talking about internally what we are. We're talking about just on the outskirts of what carbon is. Teflon, when combined with carbon, produces a non-stick polymer that is highly resistant to chemical degradation. Did you hear what I just said? I said Teflon, when combined with carbon, creates a polymer that is resistant to chemical degradation, decay. Who told you that death was something natural? They said the samurais and the Buddha, Gautama Buddha, which was a black man, they said in these days, just by saying that there is no death, is some of the most powerful words that you can say. And Gautama Buddha said that he will return in this time to prove without irrefutable doubt that there is no death. To die means to split in two. But when you carbon base, motherfucker, if you split in two, you just rebind to form something else. There is no death for peoples of color. You are life in its purest form. How can you be the child of God and die? Be careful what your mind accepts as truth, okay? Be careful of that, all right? Now, Carrying on with the discussion, because I'm going to post a lot of pics of the fuckery that's going on with this coronavirus and this connection to the high levels of carbon dioxide that are being released in the air right now. See, they telling you to stay home and they telling you to wear masks, but they're not fucking telling you why. They're not telling you the truth, okay? And I'm about to air that ass out the fuck today, put the smack down on that ass. Oh, yeah. Notice I said that Bill Gates, the same bitch that said that he was going to block out the sun, that they was planning to block out the sun. These are the same people in CERN studying cosmic dark black matter, carbon 12, okay? Carbon 12, all right? They got a thing, I was just on Google, right? They got a whole bulletin on Google, right? You study carbon dioxide, you go down the list. They have different branches of science that are coming out and saying, even with people staying indoors and social distancing, that carbon dioxide on the planet is still at an all-time high. God said the day you find out the truth, that you would change within a blinking of an eye. This is something that's happening internally. Whenever God says the day you find the truth, understand, ding, ding, motherfucking dingity. It's something that's going to happen internally. See, nobody can read the 7 seal document because these 7 seals are representing the 7 chakras of the human body. No one can come and read those 7 chakras except for the fucking body that birthed it out. And that's your damn holy mother. She's holding the 7 seal document because, bitch, she birthed you. She know the ins and outs of your entire body. The Father carries the seed, so he can't read it. You were formed a living soul and human being inside the womb of your mother. She knows your whole genetic makeup. So if you have to come back by way through her, then so be it. But only she can do that. Because that's where it was created and formed. Okay? All right? It's a very powerful reason why that woman, the priestess, is sitting in between the 2 pillars of light and dark, Joachim and Boaz. She holding the scroll, letting you know, motherfucker, if you want to trespass through this gateway, you got to go through me. You got to go through mama. All right? So anyways, not to branch off from that, let me get into the carbon. Let me get where I'm going with this. So we know that from science, we know that carbon dioxide is a colorless, odorless gas produced by the burning of organic compounds and matter and produced by respiration in human beings. But if you're carbon 12 and you were produced in stars, then whose respiration is creating the carbon cycle on the fucking planet? That would be you. I'm telling you, you are the carbon cycle on the planet, and you are the God that maketh everybody else lay down and gain green pastures. And if any bitch dare to refute and challenge me on this, bitch, come with everything you got, because I'm going to bust your ass. I'm going to bust your ass with this real shit, okay? If you dare challenge me on this, bitch, I'd like to see you try. I will cut. They don't call Libra the Queen of Swords for no reason. Cosmically, I'm a Libra. That means I'm a fucking bringer and a dweller in the truth. Bitch, I'm judge and prosecutioner. If the shit don't weigh, I'ma slay that ass. I'ma cut your ignorant head off and replace it with a new intelligent one. So don't come fucking with me. Black peoples are responsible for the carbon cycle on the planet, okay? And I'm going to touch on that with the actions of China, letting you know what's really going to fuck on here. But see, they had to stop. They had to callously stop. Because they were giving up too much just by telling you that you couldn't be in their country anymore. Okay? Anyways, carbon dioxide is a greenhouse gas. What the fuck do that mean, ladies and gentlemen? That fucking mean carbon dioxide regulates the temperatures on the damn planet, whether hot or cold. You thought that we were just associated with hot weather? Nah, we associated with the cold weather too. We survive at the coldest temperatures and the hottest. Okay? Anywho, carbon dioxide is a greenhouse gas. It heats shit up. It reacts with our sun. But when I tell you that you are connected to that sun in more ways that you can never imagine, you think that I'm crazy. Christianity tells us don't look at the heavenly bodies. Well, I say fuck that. Fuck all that. Fuck all that Jesus shit. Fuck all that shit. I know what I am. So I'm not a follower of any fucking body. And I refuse to be a sheep to anybody. I'm not your sheep. I walk with God consciousness, and you face a free woman here. I am not bound down to the fuckery anymore. When you know what you are, who you are ain't a damn question. Okay? Alright. Alright then. So carbon dioxide, what you're breathing out, is a greenhouse gas. It is responsible for global fucking warming. This is why your white Caucasian Bill Gates want to block out the sun. When carbon dioxide reaches high temperatures in the atmosphere, it has a detrimental effect on people who are not carbonated. Okay? See, if they told only black folks to cover their mouth up, it would be too obvious, right? If they told only black people to stay indoors, it would be too obvious, right? So they tell us all to stay indoors. They even fucking engineered some hornets or some bees in a lab to scare people to stay in their homes, because what you're not understanding is they want us to fear them, but they are in fear of us. Right now, you are being transformed, okay? You are the transformer. You're being transformed. You're being changed, okay? And I know that sounds hard to believe, and I hate to get off the topic, but even in the movie Transformers, I have a lot of our history and science that's in there, with the rise of Solomon and the matrix of leadership and the cube. Like, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. The sword, remember the last one of the last Transformers with the sword, and the woman removed the sword out of which goes into Joan of Arc, how the woman removed the sword that nobody could remove or whatever. Anyways, I'm going to get into that whole nother video. That's for something else, totally different. But I say this to say that you are the transformer, okay? The earth is heating up and it's beginning to be eradicated of whatever is on its plane that is not serving God. You. The earth is going through a cleansing process, and right now you are too. It is imperative that you do away with free radical eating. Things like dead meat, okay? There's no value in it. And I struggle with this too. I'm not perfect. I went vegan not that long ago. Okay? I was on and off with it, and I've been strict with it for about 3, maybe 4 months, and even then I kind of lack off. I don't really eat that much of meat, but I still kind of dip in the cheese to somewhat degree. And of lately, I've been like just really becoming more consciously aware of what I put in my body. Free radicals and things like that. I mean, an animal is dead. What happens when a body dies? It splits in two. Everything and hormonally in the body is sending signals to break down. So if you're eating the carcass of a dead animal, food is information. Science has discovered that our stomachs work a lot like our brain, and how it digests knowledge is how we digest food. You have an upper brain and a lower brain. There's a sun outside and there's an inner sun that exists in you. Okay? All right? So when you're breaking down foods and getting that information, what kind of information are you giving the body? What knowledge are you giving to the body? You're telling the body to break down, to deteriorate, to decay, because that's what you're eating, okay? If you seek life, eat life, and you shall flourish in it. Honor thy mother and thy father. Our mother is the heavens new. Carbon 12 is produced in the stars aligned in her body, okay? Our mother is the heavens new. Geb is the father. We say Mother Earth, but no, it's Father Earth. Geb is a man. Earth is a man. The Father. Honor thy mother and thy father. How? By sending your praises up to the Holy Mother, and those blessings come down. Honor her. Honor the one who formed and created your spiritual being. For every man and woman is a star. For every carbonated man and woman is a star. Okay? You're so connected to those cosmos in more ways than you can ever imagine. But when I say that and you don't know that internally, you think that I'm crazy. You believe in the Bible when they say don't look to those things because you don't know what's going on in here. But once you understand what's going on in here, you know that praising Nut, the Holy Mother, with the stars aligned on her body is something that we were supposed to do. You know, carbon dioxide, you send it up and something else comes down. Okay? Takes that stuff in and sends something up. How do you honor thy mother and your father? Eating from the earth. Honor that, and thy days shall be longer. The herbs of the field were for the healing of the nations. You know, Gad produces healing herbs and stuff to heal the children of the earth, the original children of the earth. You have to begin to start eating from that, okay? I mean, I know we all not perfect. I'm not perfect, but listen, we can all start together. We all in this together. We all in the struggle together. So let's start together. Let's do it together on one accord. You know? One love, one dream. Black is beautiful and supreme. 2020, let's get our mind, our bodies, our spirits, and our souls free. Let's get free internally so we can be free externally on the outer scale. You got to start in here. You want to see change outward? It starts in. You understand what I'm saying? I had 6 children and I was extremely overweight. I transformed my body from eating from the earth. Okay? I did that. And it was hard. This shit was not easy. Mind over matter. The black mind is very powerful. You understand what I'm saying? You don't know what you're bringing in to existence and what you're manifesting when you're walking around professing all of these things to be your Lord and your Savior. Okay? No one is Lord over you but you. And the mother and father, the elements that brought you into being. That's what you give praise to. Who the fuck is any man or woman to come to somebody and tell them that your mother and your father is not worthy of praise? Bitch, that's how you got here. Fuck you mean? Fuck you mean I honor my mama? You got me fucked up. That's my goddamn mama. You damn right I'ma honor my mother. My physical being nourished on her for 9 goddamn months. And having children of my own, I know what my mother went through bringing me forth. Okay? And my father put in the love and the turmoil and sexual union with my mother to create me. They are worthy of praise. You understand what I'm saying? My father is not here anymore. And my father made a lot of mistakes. But goddamn it, if I can't thank him for shit else, thank you for planting the seed. Shit. Thank you, mama, for bringing me forth and forming me. Thank you. If I can't thank you for shit else, goddamn it, I'm going to thank you for that. You know? And not to get off topic, but... So anyways, this carbon dioxide that we are breathing out, they admit that it's responsible for all life on the planet. But in the beginning, God said it was the Word, and the Word was God, and the Word is God. Okay? And in the Bible, they never tell you what God was when He was creating the heavens and the earth. He, she, they don't tell you that. But when you look at the chematic layout of everything, and you see Shu, the god of air, and you see Geb and Nut above, they're telling you what God was. And it was more than one. It was more than one. More than one God. Okay? More than one. In Western religion, they want to leave out God the Mother, but say the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. But this is the Trinity of life. So if they saying the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, they letting you know that a woman ain't had shit to do with the Holy Trinity. You understand what I'm saying? I don't know what the fuck they got going on, but I know what we got going on as the melanated, carbonated, original tree of life. And that's the mother, that's the black father, the mother, and the sacred children. I don't give a fuck what anybody come to me and say. If you are trespassing and going against that, we got a fucking problem. You going against the very core and existence of who I am. And I can't have that. I'm going to come at you with everything I got. I'm slaughtering anything on the battlefield. Fuck that. You're not coming against that. I will not have it. And that's how we all have to be, you know? So,